Warning, there will be spoilers throughout this podcast. If you have not yet read or finished reading this book, we suggest that you stop here and come back after you have read the book. If you just don't give a shit, then keep on listening. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Are you done breathing?
Chill, man. Take some deep breaths.
Right?
It's gonna be fine.
Every little thing, it's gonna be alright. Okay, I'm ready.
Woke up this morning,
Silent
smiling the rising sun.
Oh my god.
3 little birds, each by... Okay, do you not know the rest of the song?
No, the dog was like, shut the fuck up.
Okay. Hi, hello, welcome back. I'm Nicole.
I'm Leah.
I'm Crystal.
I'm Mara.
And this is Literaturely Obsessed.
Say that again?
Literaturely.
Sounds like a struggle.
It is a little bit.
We'll get there.
So today we are talking A Court of Wings and Ruin. Finally, book 3? Three.
Okay, you're like buffering.
Yeah.
She's loaded.
I had to load real quick. Book 3 in the ACOTAR series. Let's do our little synopsis of this. This book was published in 2017.
Damn.
It is 699 pages long. It is fantasy. And it says, a nightmare. I told Tamlin I was the nightmare. Feyre has returned to the Spring Court, determined to gather information on Tamlin's maneuverings and the invading king threatening to bring Prythian to its knees. But to do so, she must play a deadly game of deceit, and one slip may spell doom not only for Feyre, but for her world as well. A war bears down upon them. Feyre must decide who to trust amongst the dazzling and lethal High Lords, and hunt for allies in unexpected places. In this thrilling third book of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, I'm fucking done with all of you!
I was fine until you started laughing.
We'll end it there. I don't need to read the rest of that.
What'd you say, to do show?
What? Oh, I did, and then I was like, to do so. Yeah, I did. I will say that.
I don't know why I'm laughing,
we
because
would
I
have just
fucking
completely
suck.
skipped over it. We would have completely skipped over it, you know?
And then she's just like...
I'm just quivering over here with laughter.
I saw you, like, out of, like, the peripheral up here, so that's why I was just
just shaking. Fuck, and this is
Well, that's
why...
why I saw you shaking, and I didn't know what was happening at first, and then I saw Crystal go, and I knew you were laughing, so that just set me off.
Listen, this is why it'll be a long time before y'all see me on video.
Why?
I don't know.
Because they're gonna see me losing my shit. And they can't see that until I'm skinty.
Okay.
You know there's the very first episode is
episode.
recorded on video, right?
Yeah.
On YouTube.
When we tried that.
No
Well,
way.
Tried that for a hot second.
It's still up there?
It's still up there.
Oh, shoot.
Let's delete
that.
that. Let's delete it. It's not like anybody will miss it. We're not popular enough
Well,
yet.
it is the first book in the Cruel Prince series.
Fuck.
So it's special
Is
to
it?
us.
It
It
is.
is. Yeah.
Can we just
That was
take
our
the
very first
audio
episode.
off of it?
Anyways, do we want to do our ratings on this book?
Yeah.
I can go first.
Okay, you go first, Mara.
I
Remember to speak up.
gave it... I was already gonna speak up, actually.
Oh my god.
Mom.
Here we go.
I rated this a 4 out of 5. Yeah. I'll save my thoughts for the actual review.
Okay. Crystal?
I didn't reread this book.
I feel like you read it recent enough though that you're okay.
It was last year, like last summer. So I guess like a 3.5 because I like the book. I kept reading this series, and there's some important stuff that happens in this book, but I don't remember any of it. So 3.5.
I rated it a 4 out of 5. I reread the book almost all the way through. I think I have like less than 100 pages left. And yeah, 4 out of 5. Really good.
I rated it a 4 out of 5 also. It's definitely not my favorite in the series, but I do like it a lot. But yeah, 4 out of 5.
It has some pretty vital information.
It does. And I guess we'll just go straight into like thoughts real quick. I guess I rated it that way because I love political world building, but it's just, I feel like this book is a little bit slower paced than the other books.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot that goes on in this one,
I feel like once you get about like here, like, which I know you can't see where here
like
is,
three
but like
yeah,
2/3 of the way.
yeah, 3/4 of the way into the book.
yeah, is where like the action starts picking up,
Mhm.
and stuff like is happening back to back to back. But I do love a good revenge story, and the beginning was just that.
Yes.
Very good.
But it's crazy because it is revenge, and then I guess I say this every time we read a book in this series. I read it so long ago that I really do forget. But she comes at the end to like regret that decision of enacting her revenge.
Right, because of how it was so easy for Hybern to come
infiltrate the Spring Court.
Right. I get it, but at the same time, it was so sweet.
It
was so it was so sweet seeing her just terrorize.
She's a fucking badass. She is a badass.
It was everything, and then with Ianthe, like, just getting everything she deserves, right? I loved the beginning of this book, and then
I was like, how do you guys pronounce her name?
Ianthe, I think.
I think we had this conversation.
Did we have it last time? I say Ianthe too.
I say Ianthe.
I also say Ianthe.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying how I pronounce it. Listen, I might be using this word in the wrong context, but I feel like it like perfectly embodies all of what Feyre does at the Spring Court in the beginning. But I feel like she was like gaslighting the fuck out of them.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm like her intentionally letting Tampon have that like little hissy fit, and like he ends up like exploding, and she doesn't shield herself. She lets that shit hurt her so that everybody can see it, and she's like, look what your fucking hyper did to me, hoes.
Yes, and then the fact is of her using Lucien to kind of get back at Tamlin, like kind of just using herself to get a wedge in between them.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, Lucien, come look at me. You know what I mean? Like, come help me. And it's just, I don't know. It was...
I literally have a page mark. It was like, I don't even remember what happened, but page 49, I was like, ha ha ha, get Tamlin all pissy at Lucien.
She's come a long way from the first book where she's just sneaking in the hallways while
this like fragile little thing.
That's not where I was going with that.
She's just pissed. She's pissed and angry, just rightfully so.
Where were you gonna go?
In the beginning.
Sneaking in the hallways, and she thinks no one's there, and they're all just fucking watching her. Like, if they make this into a making this into a series.
They are making it into a show.
I need them to really like add like a bunch of humor to that scene because it's so fucking funny.
When you find out afterwards,
that like they saw her and she just thought she was out here, like she thought she was getting one up on all these fairies and shit like that. Like, no, honey, they were watching you.
every second they watched. Alright, we want to start from the beginning and kind of go along. Who wants to kind of recap what happens in the beginning?
So, the bond is quote unquote broken between Feyre and Reese, and so Tampon brings her back to the spring court and just wants to act like everything's okay. He's in cahoots with Highburn, and he's
Go ahead.
And
He's-
Warrior and... Okay, that's another thing.
Oh.
How do you guys pronounce his name? Because I pronounce it Warrior.
they die. So,
Jurian. I say Jurian.
Me too.
oh, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, who did you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about those two that she ends up like.
No,
killing.
that's Baragna.
Yeah.
Baragna. What are their names?
It's Jurian.
Yeah,
I say Warrior, and I don't know why I say Warrior.
His name isn't Juan.
I told her.
But it's spelled kind of close.
Okay, when you see Jule or Julien,
That's not how
no,
his name is
I
spelled.
know that. But when you see that name spelled, how do you spell it?
Julian.
Julian.
Not
Yes.
Julian.
So Jurian.
I want to type it into Google and see if anything comes up with how to pronounce it.
She's just trying to be right.
I'm not. I was honestly, me and Crystal had this conversation the other day at work, and I was just like, this is how I've pronounced it the entire time. I've never heard it pronounced that way. So I'm just curious, like, how is it pronounced?
Jurian.
Jurian, okay. Okay.
Exactly, bitch.
I just want... Fuck you, Mara. I was just confused. Like I said, I'm probably never going to pronounce it that way when I read the name ever again, because I've always
Yeah.
just pronounced it Warrior.
Yeah.
But I was interested in how it's actually pronounced.
Okay.
I think the beginning, you just have to really know that she's just making Tamlin. She's just trying to show not Tamlin. She's trying to show the people of the Spring Court who Tamlin is.
How much of a shitty fucking person he is.
And she does like a damn good job. He ends up like losing his shit, and in the process, like she dips. She brings Lucian dips, and
Well, the fact that she literally tears the prince and princess to pieces.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh, that whole scene.
they fucking deserved
They
it.
did deserve it. They did deserve it. But it's crazy too. Like, and I have all these written down as like favorite being a badass. The amount of things she did leading up to all of that, to like make all of that. She thinks everything fucking through, everything to like the last little fucking detail.
I bet you regret calling her
Like,
stupid
right?
now.
Well, no, because in the first book she was fucking stupid. No, just the
She's
fact
had
that
a lot of character development.
yes, 100%. But no, the fact that she like the Ianthe's whatever, her little ceremony that she had, she literally places gets somebody to place the rock like 2 paces to the side, so she's not standing where the sun comes up, so the sun hits
Yeah.
Feyre instead.
Mhm.
Like she planned all these little things like you said before to get Lucian to pay attention to her, so Lucian gets
Yeah, it was just it was so petty, and I
Yes.
loved it.
and then
but also not, because like Tamlin literally threw her sisters into the cauldron. Like
yes.
like
So he 100 they
I-
deserve all of it.
And
Yeah.
him being like, I didn't know he was gonna do that. He's a fucking evil ass
Okay.
king. What did you
What
fucking
did you think was gonna happen?
And then it just makes Tamlin look so stupid and naive to think that she would just let that go.
Right?
Like you're gonna come back and play wife with me after I just destroyed your whole family?
Right?
Be like,
Yeah.
oh, I knew you loved me. Like, fuck
Yeah.
you, Tampon.
Yeah.
Like how just like egotistical this trash of a man is.
I hate him so much. And I will say it again because I said it in the last episode. He is a typical narcissistic abuser.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after he like explodes and hurts her, and then he's like, "Oh my god,
I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. I promise.
Fucking typical behavior. We need to put a disclaimer. Like, if you, what is that? What is that?
A domestic violence hotline.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that.
Yeah. Because that's what he is. He's the I'm gonna abuse you behind closed doors, make everybody think I'm this high and mighty, beautiful person outside of
Make it seem like
yeah.
we're all happy.
all happy, and then I'm gonna beat you behind closed doors and promise you I'll never do it again. Like, come on.
Well,
They end up fleeing the spring court.
Yes.
And just like Mara said, she takes Lucian Because Lucian wants to go with her because apparently Lucian is Elaine's mate. And that's all Lucian can talk
Oh my
about.
god.
The entire book is that Elaine is his mate.
My mate.
I want to throw the fuck up with him. Like, just shut up.
And it's so funny because it's like all one-sided.
She doesn't like you. She wants nothing to fucking do with you. Like, just stop.
Like, he's really acting like fucking, what's his name? Jacob.
Oh my god, from Twilight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever he imprints on Renesmee.
Yes.
Renaissance.
Renaissance.
But yeah, like, he's just acting like this fucking, like, lost puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking idiot. And
Well-
then his brothers come and try to...
She's not done.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a lot more to talk about. I read this book.
Okay, go.
And then his brothers try to come kill them. Like, aren't they on, like, a frozen lake or something?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they catch him the first time. Or they're nearby the first time.
Well,
right?
they're in the cave.
Yeah.
And they go into the little cave and they stay for the night and they wake up to Eris and I don't even know what the other two brothers' names are. Did they even say the other two brothers'
Unimportant.
names? I think they are unimportant. Yeah, they don't even say the other two brothers' names, but Eris and the other two brothers from Autumn, so
Yeah.
Lucian's brothers, are there, capture them. I don't remember what she does.
They captured him first. Well, kind of, not really, but they end up getting away again.
Yes.
Right? And so they're taking off, they're running, and they finally get to this lake, and they're like, okay, we have to slow down or we're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Right? We have to take it easy, we're gonna freeze to death, we need to just, I think we're a good enough distance away to just calm down. And they're not.
No.
Because they're like right behind them. Like Eris is in front of them, and then the two brothers are behind them, and a whole bunch of stuff starts happening. You know,
Eris starts melting the lake
Yeah.
around them, and Feyre's trying to freeze it with her powers.
yes,
And
that's
that whole thing, because now she has shown them that she has these powers. And then Cassian and Asriel just drop out of the sky like the heavenly gods they are.
Yes.
Knight in shining armor.
Ugh, love them so much.
Yes.
And
they swoop in and save the day.
don't they stab Eris?
They stabbed someone,
Somebody
think.
gets, one of the brothers gets stabbed. I think it's Eris.
Is it Eris?
I feel like
Was it?
Asriel or Cassian, one of them stabs one of the Autumn Court brothers.
I don't know if it was Eris.
Unless it's one of the other ones. I know one of them gets stabbed. I know that.
Yeah, it was Eris. You're right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
okay.
it was.
I knew one of them got stabbed. I just couldn't really remember who it was.
Oh, and that's whenever Farah turns around and tells them like she's High Lady in the Night
Mhm.
Court, and they're just like, "What the freak did we
Yep.
just do?" You know what I mean?
And then she's like, "Take me home."
Yep, it was so
And
good.
it's like,
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Yes.
And I thought that part of where she finally hears when they finally are in the townhouse or wherever they're at, right? It's a townhouse.
Yeah, they go to the,
They
they go straight to the
They go
townhouse.
straight to the townhouse, and she hears Reese's voice for the first time. I thought it was the
She just
sweetest
breaks
thing.
down.
Yes,
Ugh.
and I'm just like, I freaking love their relationship so much.
Yes.
That they're so connected on that level. I just love it. I love them so much. It was just like the sweetest thing ever.
It is. They have such a connection. Like, it's just.
Yes. So their relationship is so beautifully written. I cannot find, out of all the books that I've read, cannot find a relationship that is that beautifully written.
Yes.
So they go back to the townhouse, and it's a little bit slower on this front.
Yes.
Her sisters.
Are there?
Nesta's an ass. Elaine's fucking sad and depressed.
Yeah.
Nesta blames her, and it's just like, it's not her fault.
It's not. It's not at all.
And I hate that, like, I don't think it's Elaine as much as, it's just mostly Nesta, like, putting that blame on her, like it's her fault. It just pissed me off. I fucking hate Nesta.
I hate that, and I know we find out later what's going on with Elaine, but I really hate that in the beginning, Sarah J. Maas had to make her appear insane.
Yeah.
I hate that that's where Elaine's story went, that she was this, like, crazy woman who was rambling and babbling about shit that made no sense and
Like crazed from the cauldron.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
hated that. I mean, we find out in the end, you know, she's a seer and she can actually see things that are happening. I get that, but I
Yeah.
just hate that you
She
had to.
sounds like a fucking crackhead.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
she does. Sounds like somebody who should be institutionalized. Like,
Well, we go through all this. They all catch up. They do what they gotta do, right? Catch up.
yep.
I guess the next big thing that happens. What is the next big thing that happens?
They get I don't know what leads to it, but Ianth for the not the bone carver. The
No,
one
that's at the end.
the one in the hut.
That's at the end of the book.
That's at the end?
The bone
Yes.
carver?
No, not
Yes.
the bone carver. The one with
The-
the hut.
That's the
Oh,
bone. That's the
The bone carver.
No, the bone carver's in the prison.
It's his sister,
The
right?
Weaver.
The Weaver.
That's at the
That's
end.
at the end
Yeah, that's
when
at
she
the end.
leads Ianth and the two sentries
They-
into the Weaver's lair. Yes.
What happens? Oh, I'm trying to. I literally just went through this book.
There's just so much
Well, I know that
shit
they're
going on.
trying to figure out. So they're trying to figure out
to
how
use
they
the
can
cauldron.
stop. Yeah, how they can use the cauldron to stop Hybrid or
Nullify the cauldron.
Nullify the cauldron.
Because that's what he's
Yes.
using to kind of like enhance
Yes.
everything, right?
and Amryn has the book, and she's basically helping Nesta. Well, Feyre finally talks Nesta into working with Amryn
Right,
to hone her abilities because she can sense
right.
the cauldron.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like a little bit of a backstory. When Nesta went in, she essentially
Took something.
took something from the cauldron. So it's kind of like she has a piece of the cauldron with her.
And the cauldron is pissed.
Yes.
Cauldron wants whatever she took back.
Yeah.
So they go and they do a bunch of different things to try and figure out what they can do. And one of the things that they do is they go to the prison to see the bone carver. One of the things I wrote down, I want to know who Cassian put in the prison. Because there's a comment that was made. I think it's one of the reasons why he doesn't go the very first time.
Oh yeah, he says something about like not
Where did
wanting
it
to
go?
go because he put someone in there or something.
Basically, she asks, "Who did you put in here? The mossy earth cushioned my steps. Cassian put a scar-flecked finger to his lips. Better left for another time."
Maybe it'll be in
I
a
just want to
different
know.
book.
I don't know. I just want to know who he put in there.
Right.
That would be an interesting story. But they go in there and they talk to the bone carver. I completely forgot who the bone carver shows Feyre.
Yeah.
It's her son.
Yeah.
It's what her and Reese's son would look like. And I forgot. I read that and I was just like, okay.
I know.
And I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Love it.
I know that little tidbit from what happens coming up.
Okay,
So you
because
guys
I
need to-
almost
Okay.
mentioned it
Yeah,
in one of the
I-
other podcasts
yeah.
and was like, let me shut my fucking mouth.
No, I know that she gets pregnant and all that. I know that part.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then that's the part that I
Yeah.
wanted from Reese's or Feyre's point of view. I like,
Oh, okay.
like with how sorry, I'm skipping ahead. But with how much we see their like relationship grow and things like that, I feel like with how that's such like a big thing in their relationship
And you didn't get it.
and we didn't get like him finding out, her telling him, like them experiencing it, like type of thing.
Yeah.
I really wish we could have experienced that from their point of view. And I feel like anyways what?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Nothing.
Differing from opinions. It's alright.
What's your opinion?
Well, I wasn't.
This
gonna
is also
say it
something we
out
can talk
loud.
about when we read that.
I wasn't
book,
gonna
but go
say it
ahead.
out loud. I'm just saying I wouldn't have cared for that at all. I don't.
I
think
think it would have just been too much information.
Also-
like
Also, considering what happens and the circumstances surrounding it, and him keeping a secret from her. No, I don't want to read that.
I wish it would have been like a novella. Like, I would have rather have that as a novella than Frost and Starlight. Frost and Starlight like kind of bored me, but whatever. We'll move on to
it
this
was
book.
cute.
I liked it.
But and also too, Frost and Starlight comes before Silver Flame.
I know.
So
Okay.
Oh, just fuck me. I guess I'm wrong.
Okay, moving on.
No, nobody said that.
What
So-
does the bone carver? I forget what does the bone carver tell her?
Well, they come looking for like more allies, right? Is that why they went to go?
Oh yes,
They
yes.
went to him to go looking for more allies to come against Tyburn's army, right? Because they heard that his army's huge. He's working on other fronts, blah blah blah. And so that's essentially what they went to go do and try to make a bargain with him.
And he wants the Ouroboros,
Yeah,
the mirror,
that thing. He wants that.
which she
which-
finds out you have to basically
Which-
whoever looks into it goes mad.
Right, when she doesn't even get it until the very end of the book because
Correct.
they're just like, no, we're not gonna do it.
We're not gonna risk
risk
me
it.
going crazy
Right,
looking into this
right.
mirror
We're not gonna
type of
risk
thing.
anybody because at first,
You know who could look in it and not be affected?
Nesta.
Nesta.
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
She just out of sheer will, she's like, this is gonna make me go crazy. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
But yeah, so she finds out that.
But I do think in this book she was a little bit more of a coward, though.
Oh
Nesta.
yeah.
Nesta
Well,
was a little bit more of a coward in this
This
book.
is immediately after like being fucking
Thrown,
turned,
yes.
You know?
Which I get that. So I don't think that she would even volunteer. It took everything in them to get her to like, convince her to help Amryn, right? To
Mhm.
even be a part of this whole process. And then it takes them everything to get her to go with them to Thessian's place. What's his place?
Yes, not Daycourt.
Dawn? No.
Summer Court.
Thessian, Dawn.
Dawn. Yeah, Dawn. So it takes them like, to try to like
Well, she last
Nesta.
minute she walks down and she's like, "I'm coming with you,"
yeah.
and they're just like, "Okay,
Okay.
cool."
Yeah, so like that. But they went to the bone carver to ask for help. Basically said, nah, we'll find another way.
We're Gucci.
So
Yeah.
they talk about finding Miriam and Drakon,
Yes.
and they go to the island and find out that it's gone, it's
Okay,
deserted,
I
it's
highlighted
ruined.
a bunch of I think in the small parts where we get just like the small conversations in between like Azriel and Feyre, like telling the story of Miriam and Draken. I want to know if those are tied, like the Seraphim or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those people, because I want to know if it's tied to like Crescent City, because
Well,
the Seraphim, the people in Crescent City, they have the feathers.
Yes.
They have the feathers, so I'm assuming they're the Seraphim.
I
of
also
some
made
sort.
a comment to page 209. They talked about free libraries in the human world.
Yeah.
And I said the same thing. Is that a hint to Crescent City?
Yeah.
Like they have these big open free libraries
Well, if
to the
you-
public type of thing.
If you think about this book, and you think about Miriam and Draken, they don't live with just Fae. They
No,
live with
the
humans. They live with humans. They live with Fae. They live with the Seraphim. They live.
Mhm.
There's all these groups of people that live in this place, and I'm like, is this kind of like hinting towards like Crescent City? Because from what I know of Crescent City, it's like it's a world of
Everything.
every creature
Mhm.
that's in this universe. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, there was a bunch of things too that I wrote down that were interesting. With hinting towards things of being intertwined with humans and other creatures and stuff. Page 210, they hinted again to human and fae babies because
Yep.
Is it Miriam? She's half fae,
Yeah.
half human, half fae. Another hint to her mother being part, Feyre's mother being
Yep.
part fae. Page 239, fae warrior's blood still in human bloodlines. Weird hint. There were all these little hints in this one that hinted to multiple species, quote unquote,
Yeah.
living together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like those are little hints to Crescent City somehow.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. I thought that conversation that she had with Azriel and him talking about, he just did it to kind of help with the training
Yep.
because he was just teaching.
And that's when you learned about Nephilim? Nephilim? I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Yeah.
Nephele with her small-sized wings.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Those little tiny conversations are the ones that I feel like show us a little bit more into what we're expecting
Mm-hmm.
in this, in the Crescent City series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I'm way ahead, but I don't know. I thought that was good.
We'll get there.
But they do the training.
Yep.
She's training and stuff. they go looking for more information about what?
Well, they find out about the other queen, the other human queen, who is now a bird made of fire.
Yeah.
And is being held captive somewhere in the human world.
Yeah.
And that there's a possibility that she might be able to help them defeat Hybern.
Who goes looking for her? Is it
Lucian goes looking
Yeah.
for her. He takes it upon himself because he's like, I want to help in some way. I've been here, for all this time, and I feel like I haven't helped you guys.
Elaine
and-
ain't giving me
really
no
vital
lovin'.
Right.
at the moment, so like
Huh?
he can go. He's not really vital at the
Yes, exactly.
So
Yeah,
he
he's
can
not
go.
vital at the moment, so he can go. So he goes to look for her, and they keep on doing what they can do.
Yeah, and so they I know Reese and Farah end up going into the library where they find out all the priestess and stuff like that to
Yeah.
look for information, and then
They send out the letters to the other High Lords.
yes, about the meeting.
Yes.
Then Farah goes again, right? Or I can't remember if Adriata gets like ransacked first or Hybern infiltrates the library first.
I think Adriata gets
Yeah.
ransacked first. So
Okay.
yeah, so they have the Amryn gets a letter from Varian
Yeah.
saying, we need help. Hybern is here.
Yep.
And they swoop in to basically help save the day. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was on page 354. Because she literally, I wrote this down again, Favor being a badass, 354, she literally starts burning people from the inside out.
Yeah.
And then 355, she literally is drowning them while they're on dry land.
Yeah.
Like, they just start coughing up fucking water.
Right.
Like, it's nothing, and it's like, damn, bitch, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing a
Y'all
lot.
fucked with the wrong people.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens first.
Does it?
I think so.
I thought
No,
so.
no, it doesn't. It
No?
doesn't because I marked it. I marked it here, and I was like, wait, I know there was a reason, right? Because they come looking for Nesta first. They come looking for Nesta first. Nesta and Faye are in their library together, looking for something or whatever. I can't remember exactly. And two of Hybern's soldiers infiltrate.
Yeah, and they go running into the basement,
Yes.
and she makes that deal with Braxis.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
Yeah,
Not this one.
yeah, she does. That's
She
the first
does.
band. That's the first band she gets on her
Yeah,
arm. She
yeah,
makes
yeah.
the deal with
I
Braxis.
forgot she makes
She's
two.
like, please help us, please save us. And he's like, what will you give me?
Mhm.
And she's like, I'll give you somebody to, like, what do you want? I'll get you out of here. And he's like, no, I just want to know stories.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, fine, I'll get you somebody to come down here and talk to you.
Yeah, so they infiltrate again Valaris for the second time
Yep.
already. Even if it's on a smaller scale, they did. So they did that first, and
And
then,
wasn't it like a spell that Hybern had that you could only use once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was his plan. They were coming to get Nesta.
Yes.
Because that's what he said. Like, you took something from the Cauldron Girl. The king wants it back.
And what page was that?
This was 319.
Yeah, so it was right before
Yeah.
Edra,
And then
or
I
however you
think
pronounce that.
once everything was calming down, that's whenever Amryn came in and said Adriata's like under
Mhm.
attack. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't have anything to say?
No. I'm chilling.
Let's go from like page like 400-ish.
Okay.
I don't read the book.
So it's up to you guys.
Well, that's kind of when
Truthfully, I've forgotten.
pretty much like when they're actually getting prepared to go to war
Okay.
and shit like that. Like
Okay.
we
I
just talked
remember Reese looks and just missed like a whole bunch of people.
That's
So-
about- yeah,
that's
that-
the beginning of
that's-
the war. Right?
Yeah,
Where are we
just
at?
shows how fucking powerful he is as a.
I thought we were talking
Well,
about
yeah,
the beginning
yeah,
of the
yeah. It's like when they were getting ready to go to like the war and shit like that.
Right. So that's what happens. That's all I remember. And then I remember Beast Form Resand. I love.
Mhm.
And I
Well, then you also get
have-
Tamlin running back. Well, as you think, running back to fucking Hybern, and giving them like clues as to what
Right.
the rest of them are going to be doing.
Oh, and then Elaine got kidnapped.
Yes,
Elaine
Elaine
got-
gets taken by the cauldron.
Yeah. Because why?
Because Nesta did the skyring with the bones.
Yeah.
She went to go try and find where the cauldron was, and the cauldron, which is like, honestly, when you kind of think about it that way, like, the fact that like she's like basically Nesta's in like this like trance-like state in a sense, but she can picture or feel, like, sense the cauldron watching her. Like,
Yeah.
it's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the cauldron, it's like the cauldron has, like, it's like a sentient being.
Oh,
but
yeah.
not, you know what I mean?
It's like
yeah.
this. It's like the start of all the Fae, isn't it? Like it's the start of all of what
Yeah.
that world.
Well, I don't know
is.
if they mention it in excuse me, Wings and Ruin, but in Silver Flames, they talk time and time again about Nesta taking something from the cauldron,
Yes.
and the cauldron wanting it
Wanting
back.
it back, yeah.
So it essentially is sentient.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, which
Is
is
it-
so weird.
Is it picking me up like a good? Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's picking you guys up real
He
good this
said,
time.
"You gon' run me my shit, bitch."
The one thing that pissed me off, though, which, like, I mean, like, I get it. The boys wanted to be, like, boys and, like, fight in the war and, like, we'll protect our women. But, like, I literally wrote down for page 522, not Nesta, Feyre, and Mor watching the battle like it's a football game.
Like yes.
Like, they're literally standing on the top of this
Yeah.
ridge, just, like, arms crossed, like, look at our men down there.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, like, well,
yeah,
you would think
move that
you
ball.
would think that they would also be in danger,
Right?
just standing there. Like, I mean, they probably have some kind of wards around them, right? But
I mean, true,
Who
but
knows,
still,
like,
like,
Things flying
Yeah,
in the air
exactly.
too. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand.
and even like they've learned this far in. Feyre has all of these powers. Like when they helped with the little battle that happened at Adredia, however you pronounce the summer court. Adriata, is that how you pronounce
Sure.
it? I mean, she was literally drowning people on dry land and burning them from the inside out. Like, she was taking down, like, a good group of, like, 6, 7, 8 soldiers at once. Like, why wouldn't you want her at least somewhere a little bit closer to do that same thing on the battlefield and help just a little bit? You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
the whole war itself reads like a battle instead of a war.
do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
The scene in Twilight.
I was waiting for you guys to stop talking so I could talk about it. It's the one where they're all fighting,
Yes.
and then Edward and fucking Bella are just in the fucking tent, living
Yeah!
their lives, and
Yes!
he's feeding her all the information. I'm like,
Yes!
that's what it
I'm
fucking
dead.
reminded me of.
Well, also too, if you think about it, they have all these battles, and then there's like literally one part where before the big battle at the end, like they literally go back to the camp, and Rhys and Feyre just fuck in the tent
Yes!
in the middle of the battlefield,
There are
like
people around them dying.
yes, and they're just fucking.
And they're hornier than ever.
yes,
Like, unbelievable.
I just
Unbelievable.
come on. I get it that you're mates, and it's probably like a weird mating thing to just like always be horny
Twilight.
around your mate. Twilight, yes, but like, come on.
I can't.
I think we need to start taking a drink every
Just
time
snort.
Mara references Twilight.
Do I reference Twilight a
You
lot?
talk about Twilight a lot. Maybe
No,
not
that-
on the podcast, but
Yeah,
real
in
life.
person, that and on the podcast, her mentioning TikTok.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That take a shot every time.
A shot of what, sweet tea?
Fun new drinking game.
Drinking game.
You guys would all be drunk.
I don't
Mhm.
drink. Neither does
Neither
Leah.
does Leah.
Listen, we can get those sparkling grape juice.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
I had a question real quick.
Yes.
And I couldn't. I tried looking back in book 1, but it was just too much for me to like actually read the whole thing and find this part. How did she kill the wolf in the first book?
She didn't
She-
kill the wolf.
No,
Yeah,
no,
she
no.
did.
She did. She did.
She shot an
She
arrow.
did. Yeah.
Through what?
What do you mean
What do you
through
through
a
what?
bow and arrow?
It was an ash arrow.
Ash
Yeah.
arrow through the wolf's what?
Throat?
Thank you.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
His eye, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so why on page 471 of Wings and
Oh,
Ruin
no.
does it say, a snarl from Cassian, despite their power, their might, however, those trees had been created, something in the ash wood cut right through Fey defenses. I'd seen it firsthand. Killed one of Tamlin's Sentials with an arrow through the throat.
I thought it was
I clearly remember her shoot her.
I thought it was
The whole
throat.
thing was her shooting this ash arrow through the wolf's eye.
Yeah.
So now, why in this book does it say throat?
I thought it was throat.
I could swore it was through the eye.
I thought it was the eye too. Anybody?
Leah,
have a
where's your
copy?
book? Where's your book one? You have
Don't
book
make
one.
Leah go up
I
and
know, right?
Which
and
book?
get it.
The first book.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
The real
Oh my
Akatar.
Cause like I could have swore it was I also.
Yeah,
What do I get if I was right?
Nothing.
nothing. Bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
I do
It's
that
a-
regardless.
He didn't try to dodge the arrow as it went clean through his wide yellow eye.
Boom.
He collapsed to the ground.
Dang.
And then it says, but wolf or fairy, it didn't matter now with that ash arrow buried in his side.
Huh?
So,
Wait, what?
Does she shoot more than one arrow?
No, she only had like 2
Or
of
maybe
them,
it
right?
went through his
I don't-
eye and like.
That's a long ass
think
arrow.
so.
okay, so it says,
I don't think that's how anatomy
hold on. I fired the ash arrow before he destroyed much else of her. The arrow found its mark in his side, and I could have sworn the ground itself shuddered. He barked in pain, releasing the doe's neck. It said the wolf merely looked at blah blah blah. My ash arrow protruding so vulgarly from his side. So this says side, and then it says he didn't even try to dodge. So she shot another arrow, a plain arrow, through his eye.
Okay.
And then that's what ended up killing him. But it says now with that ash arrow buried in his side. So the ash arrow went through his side. She did another arrow through his eyeball. But then Wings and Ruin, she's saying that she killed the wolf with an ash arrow to the throat. I'm sorry. I Sarah J. Maas, I love you, girl. Like, best friend, love you. Your books are amazing. But I have now found 2 plot holes in her books. Which is, okay, not a bad thing. I'm not, like, that's not, you
Right.
know, it happens.
Right.
It's too many for us.
A continuity error.
Yes. Because the other one I found, which it was in, what did I say? I said it in this book, which we'll talk about that one later. In Silver Flame, I found a little one. But
There's
that just confused me. I don't know.
This is gonna get silly for a moment, but there's a theory that I've been seeing on TikTok that Farrah's paintings aren't actually that good.
Oh.
And so what if she's just stupid? She can't remember. She just can't remember.
I mean, I've said she's not the brightest before, so.
Oh my god. Also, when you really think about it, she was this naive 19-year-old Mara can't talk about it.
She's looking
It's wild to me that Farrah's just allowed to be like
Yeah, I knew it. How did I know?
stop.
in the Benin.
If you're ever having a bad day, man, watch that
I've never seen
TikTok.
anything make you laugh the way that.
In the Benin.
In the Beninging. Let's begin
Oh my god.
Oh.
Anyway.
Moving on.
In the beginning.
I feel like only you would catch something like that.
I would be the only one to catch something like that. I mean, I didn't want to, but it just like stuck out to me, and I remember reading it when I was reading Wings and Ruin, and I was like, wait a second, I don't remember that. Like it happened differently, and I was like, maybe I'm fucking insane. So like, let me write it down, and I'll ask like you guys when we get together just to see. But clearly, I was right.
I just read for vibe. Me too.
I mean, most of the time I do too, but when certain things stick out, I'm just like,
Unless it has changed my life, I will read a book and finish it and immediately forget everything about it.
same, but this book changed my life.
Okay, well.
Well, this series changed my life.
Yeah, but
So.
not as much as Silver Flames.
I know.
I still
Okay, yes, same.
I still I don't know. I can't find anything that tops that.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, that has actually brought me to literal tears.
Oh, I was shaking, sobbing, reading this book. Yeah. 100%.
She's still thinking about that TikTok.
She's crying!
I was holding my laughter in.
Moments like this, I wish we still had video.
I know, right? We'll get back
I-
to video eventually.
When I get skinty.
Oh my god, shut the
Oh,
fuck
she
up.
I
got
was
a
like-
gym membership.
Oh.
So
Advent Health, $30 a month
Maybe we should
when
start
Planet Fitness is
working
only
out
10.
together.
Okay.
Where do you go? I have a membership there.
Advent Health.
I gotta get one.
I just got one Friday.
Yeah,
so.
me and Philly.
Are we all
I've
just
been,
gonna start working out before we record?
well, I've been
Ooh.
I've been in
It's
a
not
calorie
bad, yeah.
deficit for the past like 2 weeks now, so just trying to.
All I eat are fruit and vegetables now since I
Yeah.
can't have fucking gluten.
Yeah, so
Wish I could say.
Crystal made a comment the other day and she was like,
Oh.
those green beans sound so crunchy.
They looked so good, and I hate vegetables. There are like 3 vegetables that I'll eat.
I love green beans.
I'll eat cooked green beans,
I hope.
and I love but like raw.
Why? I
green
eat raw
beans.
green beans. That's what I was having. I had fresh raw green beans,
She had the
carrots, cauliflower, and cherry tomatoes.
Okay, I love me. You lost me at raw green beans and cherry
Well, she
tomatoes.
wasn't asking, so
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't ask if you wanted any, Mara.
Okay, we need to continue because
Okay,
I
okay.
keep thinking about that TikTok and I just
Okay.
want to
Oh
keep
my
laughing.
God.
I will say, okay, like I said, it's been a while since I read those books, so I do kind of forget some shit. I started freaking out when fucking Amryn pulled her little fucking stunt when her and Feyre finally got to the cauldron.
You'll have to remind
Okay,
me.
so
You'll
like
have to
they get
remind
to the
us.
cauldron and Amryn's like, all right, we have to touch the cauldron for us to do our little spell to like nullify it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she literally looks at Feyre and she's like, sorry, girl, and she just like starts like like saying this other spell, and
Yep.
Feyre basically gets like sucked into the cauldron in a sense, and like her mind gets taken over by the cauldron, and that's when she gets transported to where the King of Hybern is, coming up on Cassian and Nesta. And Cassian's like broken on the ground, like his legs are fucking broken, wings are like destroyed, and like Nesta's standing in front of him, and she literally looks at him and she's like, if only we had more time. And I'm just like, I ripped my fucking heart out. And of course, so Feyre's sitting there watching the whole thing, like not being able to do anything, like screaming inside her own mind, like fucking Amryn, like what the fuck, you fucking bitch, like you did all of this to like spite us now we're all gonna die.
What'd she do it for?
She did it because she could come out of her fae form and be her actual self,
Right.
so that she could end up helping them. And she ends up doing that. She ends up basically taking down most of the army in her natural form and helping most of it. And in the process of her doing the spell to become her natural form is when fucking Elaine gets that killing blow and stabs that knife right through the King of Hybern's throat.
Okay, but we missed a key point.
What?
We missed a key point. Okay, of the dad.
Well, yeah, that's in that whole part. Yeah, because right
we talked about the
Did
dad
we?
last time, I think, right? And him
we?
showing up with his.
we said him showing it because he
Yeah.
shows up with Vasa and his little army of ships that he named after his daughters, which again break my fucking heart.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And then they're standing up on that cliffside, and Nesta's standing over Cassian, like protecting him basically, and the King of Hybern has their father, and she's just like, leave him alone. He's like, okay, fine, and breaks his neck. And do you know one thing that pisses me off though? Like, why did he just not be important enough to have a name?
Who?
The father.
I thought he did have a name.
He doesn't have a name.
They just called him like King of Merchants, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think he has a name.
who knows?
Let me go on TikTok.
Maybe the daughters didn't know his name, and now at this point it's too late to ask.
I mean, I guess, but like, I don't think he has a name. Cause it's just one thing that like I've always just wondered, like, what the fuck is their father's
He
name?
does have a name.
What's his name?
Mr. Acheron.
Wow, and it's Archeron.
Whatever. Tomato.
Like, I don't think he has a name, and it bothers me.
No, like I googled it. It's
Yeah, Mr. Archeron. He just doesn't have a first name.
Wow.
Just went
Everybody else has a first name.
Well, it's another fluke.
It is, but like,
things
it makes
like
me
I said,
sad.
that only you would point out.
But it just because it makes
I mean,
me
I'm sure more
sad.
people would point it out.
But I don't
Just care for it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
no, I get that.
I don't know.
And I get, like, he's, like, not, like, it's not that he's a shitty person, but he's not the best person.
Yeah.
But he did end up like coming for his daughters in the end, and I just feel like he deserves a
Right.
first name. Even if his name is just like Bob or something.
probably
His name is
fucking
Bob.
was.
I officially named Mr. Archeron Bob.
Bob.
Bob Archeron. That's his name.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Bob.
Yep. We love you. Anyways, moving on.
Okay.
So then Elaine gets our nice little killing blow,
It
which I
sounded
love.
like that Lizzo song.
Anyways.
I heard a girl, this had to have been around Christmas time in the store. This little girl who maybe no older than like 10 years old, and she is coughing up a storm, right?
Ooh.
Like it sounds like her lung is about to come up like out of her
Goddamn.
throat. And she goes, and then she stops. All of a sudden, she goes, "Anyways," and it was the funniest thing I ever.
I love that bird. Yeah, so Elaine takes Truth Seeker and stabs King of Hybrid in the throat.
Yep.
And then Nesta's just like,
Which-
let me finish this
Can
fucker.
we talk about how
What?
how Truth Seeker has never been lent to
No.
anybody,
No.
No. Except for Elaine.
I saw a theory that Azriel was supposed to be Elaine's mate, and the Cauldron chose Lucian because Azriel was on the brink of death when
I saw-
Elaine was made.
Really?
I saw a different one saying that Azriel's mate was what's his name, sister.
Reese's sister, yes. I saw that one too. But I saw one that, and I mean, it would kind of make, it would make sense.
Morgan?
No. Reese's dead sister,
sister.
his actual sister.
Yeah.
Morris is his cousin. I mean, it would kind of make sense with the Elaine thing, but then it kind of doesn't, because if you think about it, Feyre was Reese's mate from the beginning, like before they even knew each other. And if you could think about it, in a sense, Nesta was most likely Cassian's since the beginning, before they even knew each other, because seems like that's the way the Cauldron
But
works.
I think it works differently with Feyre and Rhys because he's a High Lord and
Maybe.
Cassian is not. And I think there's always been some kind of like Feyre like living in her little fucking shack in the middle of nowhere, like would like paint her like the stars and like the sky or what, the night sky or whatever.
Yeah.
Would attempt to
Right.
paint the stars in the night sky.
As far as we know, Nesta never had any of that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I feel like
Maybe
If
because
it's not as strong.
maybe because his power is a little bit different, right? Reese
Right.
is different. I think we've established that he's different than
Mhm.
all other High Lords.
Right.
All other breeds of Fae, he is completely different.
right.
So maybe that's why.
I think that, I mean, getting back to like what Nicole was saying is like I just don't think, I don't know.
No,
don't
it
know
makes
what I'm
no.
trying
I get it. It makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, because he's a High Lord, his mating bond would be completely different from
Different,
somebody who's not a High Lord, like Cassian and Azriel.
Right.
So, and that I think that's where that theory comes in, where Nesta's made. Cassian is the closest thing. They're kind of made for each other with the way that their energies and their personalities are, so it made sense that the Cauldron would make them mates. And in a sense, they think Elaine was supposed to be with Azriel, they're both quiet, they're both kind of shy, they're both to themselves, but Azriel was on the brink of death when Elaine was made, and Lucian was just the next closest person who, in a sense, needed a mate because his original mate was murdered in front of him. And so the Cauldron was just like, yes, Fae male, here we go, he's now Elaine's mate.
Lucian is such a pick-me, though.
I fucking hate him.
Pick me.
Why won't
Love
she talk
me.
to me? Oh my god!
I like Lucian.
Me too.
He's alright. He just annoys me with
I
like
do.
he just annoys me.
I
He's so creepy
I
whenever
feel for him so. In Silver Flame, you feel.
I feel yes, yes.
You really do. Like, he's not trying to be
Because
disrespectful about it.
Right,
No.
yeah, he's absolutely respecting that boundary.
At that point,
At
yes.
that point, yes.
In this
Yeah.
book, not really.
Yeah.
In this book, he just wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
Well, just give me a second. Just let me.
Yeah.
Just let me. And it's just like,
I don't know.
calm
We're
the fuck
not-
down.
We're not fairies. We don't know how that affects them.
True. I almost went into a fairy portal yesterday.
Girl!
Oh my fucking god.
We would have never seen her again.
I would have been so happy.
What if it was like less Akatar fairies and more Holly Black fairies?
Ooh.
I'm still okay with that. Give me a nice cardigan.
You want a tail?
Yeah.
You lost me
It could be
there.
hot.
It could be hot. Why not?
If I saw a man with a tail,
Uh,
I would fucking run the opposite way. I'd
okay,
be
but like, do you think that, like, we're not talking about the Crow Prince, but do you think that Cardin's other, like, physical features make up for the tail? I think they do.
I think they do. He's hot.
He's gorgeous. He's hot. I can deal with the tail.
I can picture you over there, like, just choke me with your tail. I can picture it.
I mean,
God,
you're not wrong. Nah, I pulled in my driveway and I saw them four or five, however many there were, mushrooms in a circle, and I was like, let me get out real quick.
Nicole's gonna be like,
I'm
Jump
about
on
to
in.
dive in. And so I was like, let me record this. I'm gonna send it to them and be like, bye guys. I'm leaving.
Are we done with Wings and Ruin?
Anybody?
We didn't talk about the biggest thing at the end.
Oh.
Reese dying.
Oh.
Oh,
Just that. It's fine. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but he literally dies on page 666.
Oh, I know. You were talking about that.
Wait, say that again?
I don't know if Sarah J. Maas did this on purpose,
Uh-huh.
but Reese literally dies on page 666.
Oh.
As you can tell, Nicole notices everything.
Yeah.
I do. I noticed a lot of little.
Which is not a
little
bad
bits.
thing, because she fills us in on it.
I just wrote down, like, I was like, why kill Reese? Why? It's not fair. Also, the fact it's on that page. I was like, what the fuck? It's just like, honestly, don't get me wrong. I get it that, like, he had to die. Like, it was, like, part of the story. But, like, the fact that he just had to come back the same way that Feyre came back.
Yeah.
We couldn't be just a little tad bit more original.
Yeah.
Something
See,
else
this
couldn't be
is
like
where-
it couldn't be like their mating bond and her tears are what brings him back to life type of, you know what I mean? Like that would have been like a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
the
like
more I think about it, the more I think this is the weakest book in the series. And I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
I just think where are the stakes? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
like what is the point of death, of, you know, killing off a character if you're just gonna bring them back? You know what I mean? Like, not that I would
True.
want Reese to stay dead, but choose another character to stay dead.
Yeah. Do we have anything else on Wings and Ruin?
no.
It was good.
Weakest book in the series.
Yeah.
It's okay. I wouldn't say that, but it's okay.
What would you say is the weakest book?
Frost and Starlight.
Oh, I don't really count it.
It's
Yeah.
a good filler, but it
You-
doesn't really give you
don't
much.
need it.
You don't
Or
exactly. You
Lando.
don't need it.
Okay. So,
Okay, so yeah, that's everything for this one. As always, it will be posted to our Instagram and also on our Discord. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that we did not mention that you're just like, hey, what about this? Go ahead and leave it on there. But yeah, I believe that is everything. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.
What are we reading next?
Bride.
Bride!
Bride is our next book. So we will see you in 2 weeks with our review of Bride. Bye.
Bye.
We harmonized.
You guys did. That was a good one.